Hello everyone, and welcome back to another World of Tanks Blitz video. And today is episode 2 of our tech tree review, and we're doing the E50M's tech tree currently. So this tank we're doing is the tier 6 VK30.01D. Now let's talk about it. I would consider this perhaps the most average medium ever. Like, as you'll see, it's got slightly better than average pen. It's got average DPM, it has average speed, it has average gun depression at 8 degrees. It's good, but it's nothing special again. And yeah, it has pretty average armor too. Maybe perhaps a bit better than average, as the sides are very angled, and so is the front. And as long as you wiggle the turret, you will get a few bounces. So yeah. Now, it's an enjoyable tank to play, but again, there's not much reason to play it. Like, it's a good tank, it's solid, right? It does everything decently, it's versatile, but there's just other tanks most people would want to play. Like, for example, here you'll see Adrenaline's playing with me, and he's using the Cromwell B. And that tank's just so much more fun for most people, because you have 13 degrees of gun depression, you have great DPM, and you have great speed. It's unique. Or, like, if you want DPM, you'll play, like, the Cromwell, or like, the M4A3E8. If you want, like, speed, you'll play, like, the VK2801. So this tank is kind of just stuck in the middle, and that's probably why it has very little players, and that's why you never really see it. But it's not a bad tank. The only thing I think it's lacking is perhaps accuracy. The accuracy doesn't seem to be the greatest. Other than that, it's a solid tank, and it's not too bad. I mean, granted, when it's stock, it's a bit too slow, and the stock gun is disappointing. But once you get to the higher tiers, most stock tanks are really bad, and when you think about it, this one isn't that bad. So yeah, if you're looking at the replays, you might wonder why sometimes I'll like hesitate when I take a shot, or I'll just like run into a wall. That's because while me and Adrenaline were recording this, I was kind of lagging, or my screen kept freezing, which kind of sucks. But yeah. So as you've probably seen already, I've gotten a few bounces off my turret. Again, if you just keep wiggling, it'll work, but especially at longer distances when it's harder for others to aim. But as soon as you get someone who's a competent player, and they just aim in, and they just wait for you to rock back and forth and make a mistake, they're probably gonna pen. You also have that big hatch up top, which is a weak spot, though again, noobs might target it and miss it, which is very unlikely. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say about it. Like, there isn't much to say about it. Again, I'm kind of proving my point. Like, it's just such an average tank. It's not bad, but there's just nothing that makes you want to play it over some other tanks. Aside from, like, maybe you just want to, like, you know, boost your win rate by a bit, or like boost your WN8, because this thing's pretty good at that. Again, why are you playing so much tier 6? I mean, if you start a new account and you were to play this, and you were free to play, and you had to get this tank and you wanted the E50M, it's not bad. That's all I can really say about it. It's really not bad. Like, as you just saw there, I was just aiming at another VK30. Like, head on, this thing, the hull has no armor, the turret has little armor, but somehow you can still produce bounces by wiggling. Also, the frontal plate, it's actually really trollish. So what you can do a lot of the time is you angle it really steeply, like as I'm doing right here. Like, if I didn't have a hill blocking me right there, I could angle it. And almost like how you would play a Foch 155, or like when you go around corners and you like hide your drive wheel, but you have your angled frontal and lower plate just like sticking out. And because it's so angled, you're probably gonna get some bounces, which is kind of cool. And again, you can actually also get bounces off your rear if it's angled really steeply, because the rear has a decent amount of armor, and because it's also angled. So I mean, you can't rely on bounces. That's the thing. Although this tank has some armor, you cannot ever rely on bounces. Only take shots when you have to, and try not to get into positions where you have to survive using armor. I guess that's the same for a lot of mediums, especially at tier 6 when the turrets are paper. But yeah, here you'll see I'm facing this Churchill, and I'm just being an absolute moron. I have not done anything against them yet. And again, you'll see I'm aiming in here. My screen froze. I click, nothing happened. He rocks back and forth, and I miss my APCR shot. Now the Churchill is very strong, so you can't think much about it how I couldn't pen without using APCR. So that's not really much, but again here I make a mistake. You see that KV1S, he saw me, but you probably wondering why he didn't shoot as soon as I started backing up. It's because the frontal plate, again, when it's angled the way like he did, there's a big chance that he would have hit the frontal plate and not anything else, and at the angle that he was looking at, it probably would have bounced. So again, that's really helpful, especially if you accidentally poke out too far and you need to pull back really quickly. So the armor can save your life. So yeah, I mean, that's the tank. As a summary, it's average. It's got decent DPM, it has decent armor, it has decent gun depression, and it has pretty much decent speed. So nothing unique about it. Will you enjoy the tank? That's probably up to you, but it's not a bad tank at all. And yeah, so if you like the video, leave a like. If you really like the video, subscribe. And if you have any comments, suggestions, anything, leave them in the comments below. Thank you all.